This is a beautiful thing, is it not? This is my sprouted wheat. I sprout my own wheat and then I dehydrate it and I use it for grain. I've got some videos on that you're welcome to check out. We'll link to them on the end screen. But these are ready to go in the dehydrator. I've had quite the debate on what to do for dehydration. Right now I'm using the Nesco All-American dehydrator. And I have been using screen material that I've cut out. This is just obviously scraps. The other one is full of grains that we forgot were there. So we'll get that cleaned out. But so I've been using just some screen material because these that you can purchase have the hole in them, which is wonderful. But when you're trying to empty out grains, they just fall. So it doesn't really work. So I've not loved the idea of it being a plastic. I don't like heating up plastic in my food. Same thing with these. I got these thinking, oh, those would work, but it bothers me to heat up plastic. So, what is the solution I've come up with? Unbleached cheesecloth. I'm really excited to try this. I bought this whole roll off of Amazon, and I will link to that in the description below. I'm gonna try it. Will it work? I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it to fit the trays of the dehydrator. We'll see how it works. So I'm giving them one final rinse before I get them in the dehydrator. Sarah is already waiting here with her cup because she would like some.
No, it's a measuring cup.
Oh, a measuring cup. She really likes to eat them. I cannot eat wheat, so I do not know, but I've heard they're really tasty. There you go.
Yum.
It looks like this will work. I like to leave enough overhang of the cheesecloth. We'll see how sturdy the cheesecloth holds up. I mean, I know it's not the most awesome material that will hold up to the apocalypse or anything. So we'll just see. We'll see if I feel like it was worth the investment to buy it, if it'll last long enough, if it's going to be too fragile. This is all an experiment. I might want to go with a different cloth that would be still breathable but a little bit more sturdy. It'll be fun to experiment. The reason we have gone to sprouting our own wheat is that about a year ago I decided that I didn't need to be gluten-free and that I could eat wheat, and I was fine to do that. Even though different health things in my life had pointed me more towards a gluten-free diet, I decided, I'm just being dumb. So we went and ate whole wheat everything. I made whole wheat. We bought a grinder and we made whole wheat rolls, whole wheat bread, whole wheat everything. And I became very, very ill very quickly. And so I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. It's a thyroid condition that if you have a thyroid condition at all, you really should avoid gluten. And so I believe the eating of the whole wheat actually brought it on quicker than maybe it would have already. And so we did research, and from things I had learned in the past but just kind of forgot about, is that if you're going to eat wheat, it should be sprouted. You should eat sprouted wheat. Different nutrients are unlocked in the sprouting process. It becomes more like a vegetable to your body than a grain, and it's just a lot easier on your body to process. The soaked grains and the sprouted grains are something that was common practice in the early days. And as we've gotten lazy as a society, a lot of those practices have disappeared. And so I believe that this is something that everybody should be doing more of: sprouting and soaking your foods, fermenting your foods, different things like that, these ancient methods that should never have been lost. So it is a lot easier on your body to digest. Like I said, the whole wheat is very difficult. Whole wheat is good for you, but not necessarily if you don't soak and sprout it. It's very hard on your digestive system to just eat plain whole wheat. So that is what put me on this journey of sprouted wheat. I tried to find a sprouted wheat recipe that was good. And good luck in that. There was no sprouted wheat recipe out there that called for flour. You need a really nice blender or food processor. A lot of people make bread out of these wet grains. But to get a flour recipe was not something I could find. So then I set out and hit the kitchen and created my own. And I will put a link to that video at the end of this in the end screen. I've shared with you my sprouted wheat recipe. So it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, but I'm really glad to share it with you. And it's very good. You need, and as I've said in my wheat video, you have to be careful not to over sprout your grains. Sprouted wheat is a very different animal to work with. It is more gooey, if that's the right word for it, but it is very, very tasty. So happy baking. If you do decide to sprout your own berries and substitute it in your recipes, you do have to do some substitutions because it does not act the exact same as regular wheat berries do. I love the look of this cloth. It just makes me feel more homey. Working with plastic screen material, I just worry, what is leaching into my food? I'm really loving getting more crunchy and back into the old and ancient ways of cooking. And I don't like to cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these dehydrating. It can take 10 to 12 hours to dehydrate. I put it on, my dehydrator is awesome-ish. I'd like to get a better one, but for now this works just fine. I'd like an Excalibur someday. I make sure, and I cook it I dehydrate it on a low temperature. This does say nuts and seeds at 105, so I make sure and I put it on 105, and I just kind of keep track of it. So we will check in. I will keep you updated on how awesome or not awesome this cloth is going to work.
Thank you for all the flat Stanleys and postcards you've all given us. It was so generous of you guys to take the time to do that. Thank you so much.
We also want to say, those that haven't sent flat Stanleys but have sent brochures, have sent letters, information, we are really, really, really loving it. And we're loving getting to know you guys better through your letters and through your generosity. So we really, really want to thank you for that. You can keep them coming if you'd like. It's a forever thing. Learning is a forever thing. Keep them coming. Our P.O. box will be in the description below, and it's in the description of every one of our videos. So thank you from all the Willow Creeks here at the Willow Creek Homestead. Okay, so let's check on this. I know they're not going to be dry. They're not going to be dehydrated, but I just wanted to kind of see how it was looking. It looks like it's working very well so far. We're very well into the dehydration. This makes me a little bit nervous. Looks like the tails have continued to grow through, even though they're dehydrating. So that is actually a concern. because you don't want them to keep growing. You want them to dehydrate. In a sprouted grain, if it keeps growing, it will become too sticky in your bread that you're making. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to not make it as thick. I don't think this cheesecloth breathes as well as the screen material because it is still pretty wet down underneath. So I am going to go ahead and cut another sheet and get it spread out so we don't ruin this batch. It is a little bit thick in this dehydrator. So I am going to go ahead and get another thing put out, and then we'll see how it does when I take them out tomorrow. So I will be updating on that in an upcoming vlog, so look for that. We would like to thank you for coming along today with us on this crazy adventure that we like to call homesteading. Make sure to give us that thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.